Oh, dude, this was the. I hate playing Lakers so much.
I know, right?
So annoying all the time. Okay. It's live. I'll tweet out the link and then we should be good to go.
All right.
I don't know if Jamal's gonna come back on Tuesday.
He better. I hope so. I don't know.
The update that Woj had was not the most promising.
Did he have it before the game?
Yeah,
Or what?
yeah. It was like
I didn't see it.
it was like an hour before the game. I think it was a while. It was during like the pregame show. But it was like he said that he still has soreness in his knee after some workouts. And that he he's ramped up his work like a lot. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn.
But he's still a little sore after the work. I think though, like all the teams have all the teammates have been saying that he looks good. Everyone else is saying that he looks good. It's just that he probably is he just mentally he's just not quite there yet.
Yeah, I know.
Damn. Yeah. That's
we'll
fine.
See. I hope so. Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready to start now? Okay. Big win for Denver. Good job bouncing back from that tough loss against Minnesota. Getting up for this game was hard. I watched the first quarter on my phone in bed because I just did not want to get up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Nuggets also had that same sentiment because this game started horribly, especially from Jokic. He had 5 turnovers in like the first 7 minutes or something. And a lot of them were just so avoidable. It was like his turnovers that you don't see from him. It was just like him throwing passes away, like not reading the defense. But after that, I mean, he was as dominant as we've seen him. Second straight game where he has a ridiculous stat line, 38, 18, and 6, with 3 steals and 2 blocks as well. Anthony Davis was giving him work early, but then Jokic really clamped up in the second half. Yeah, big win. It was fun to watch the second half. First half, not so
much. Yeah, for sure. Really just the first quarter. I mean, the second quarter they scored 38.
Yeah.
So just the first quarter on, or I guess the second quarter on, but yeah, the LA nightlife probably got to him a little bit.
Yeah.
In that first quarter. Yeah, everyone, it just felt so sloppy and slow, and I don't know. It seems like they do this on every national TV game where they just start out poorly.
Yeah.
And then figure it out later on. But it's weird because usually like the first quarter, I think the Nuggets are, if not the best, like one of the top 5 in scoring in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And the second quarter, really.
Yeah, they're really bad in the second half.
Yeah.
But they were good in this second half.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this was basically like, other than Monte, I mean, he still finished with 10 assists, but other than him and maybe Bones, shot making, pretty much everyone played well.
Yeah.
Gordon played really well. Will Barton bounced back. He was tremendous.
Huge.
Boogie was really giving Wenyan Gabriel work when he was in. Davon Reed hit some big shots. Yeah, I mean, really just a solid game. Offensively, defensively.
Yeah, and this was, I think we saw potentially our first look at a playoff rotation. This is the first time in a long time that Denver staggered with the bench. They had Will Barton in there for the first, in the first and third quarters, and then to start the second and the fourth quarters. Aaron Gordon was running with the bench. And I honestly really like that. I really like that for me. I like how it worked.
Yeah.
It gives the starters an opportunity to beat up on the bench, honestly, because Will Barton and Aaron Gordon can beat up on a lot of benches. We saw that with Gordon. So I really liked that formula. I think you start getting it in motion now so that they have a rhythm and they can figure out their kinks over the next, 4 games, 3 games, however many are left in the year. And yeah, I really like that. Bones, even though, I mean, he was 1 of 6 from 3-point line. I liked how he was attacking. All of his misses were from 3. I liked how he was attacking, getting to the rim, playmaking well, 4 assists once more, 2 steals. I thought his defense was really good today.
Mm-hmm.
End of the third quarter, he had a couple of rookie moments. Got blocked by Westbrook and then turned it over, and then he missed a wide open 3. But that honestly was the first time that he's looked like a rookie.
Yeah.
In literally 2 full months.
Yeah, and then he also, I think he fouled THT on a fast break layup.
Yeah.
That the foul did not slow down THT at all.
Mm-hmm.
So that was another rookie moment. But yeah, I mean, really, other than just the miss, it seems like that's what it's been the past 2 games, right? Other than the misses, from 3, he's played pretty well.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, he was due for kind of a slide back. I mean, he was shooting 50% in the month of March, the entire month of March, from 3. So he was due for a bit of a slide in 3-point percentage. But I'm not really worried. Once again, all the looks he had were pretty good, except the one that got blocked. But he played well. He controlled well. Really like that. Davon Reed, if this game is an indication that he needs to be converted to a full-time contract, then I don't know what is. This game, it didn't feel like a playoff game, but for the Lakers, I mean, this is must win. They had to get this game to keep their season alive. Now, essentially, if the Spurs win one more game, it's over. Lakers are essentially out because the Spurs own that tiebreaker, which is just insane to think about. Because they were the 8th seed literally 3 weeks ago, and now they're almost going to be out of the playoffs entirely. So, but yeah, Davon Reed played well. Like you said, he made a couple of big threes. Loved his defense. And in the fourth quarter, him and Westbrook were matched up, and Westbrook took advantage. Westbrook was having a good game overall. Anyway, but I thought perimeter-wise he was good. He guarded Melo really well. He guarded THT and Malik Monk really well. But you need a guy like that in the playoffs. Rivers has been good. I thought Rivers' defense today was all right, but Davon Reed was taking most of those primary matchups. And I think you could see that having both him and Rivers out there helped, even though the Lakers were getting whatever they wanted. But I mean, you have to have him on the roster for a playoff series. I don't see how you can win a series without. I mean, you can win one without him, but it's going to be hard because that bench is going to get obliterated.
Yeah, I agree. And when he came in, he was playing good defense on Westbrook. The Lakers got in the paint so easily, especially in the first half. Just no pressure whatsoever or anything.
Yeah.
When Reed came in and he was on Westbrook did get him a few times, but it wasn't as bad as it was in the first half with all the
they were at least they're being physical. They were making them work for the shots in the paint.
Yeah.
Instead of them just getting straight line drives and lobs. But yeah, I mean, I think you have to have him out there. I mean, it's tough because you either got to cut Campazzo or you got to cut Vlaco. Or, they come out with a surprise and cut Bryn Forbes, but I highly doubt they do that. But those are the 3 guys who at this point seem like they're completely out of the rotation. Vlaco's hurt, which is why he's out, but Facu is 100% out. Looks like Forbes is probably out because defensively he's too much of a liability. But I think that I don't know. I think you got to do it. I don't really think it matters who you cut, but you got to get Davon Reed on that bench because you see, I mean, he's legitimately the perfect role player. He doesn't do anything stupid. He makes his open threes. He plays good defense. He rebounds. He has energy. He brings intensity on both ends. He's exactly what you need and exactly what this team needs. So I just think that you got to find a way to get him on there.
I completely agree. I mean, he's just been – he was solid. I think he had 2 threes today.
Yeah.
I mean, just, if he's doing the same thing that Bryn Forbes is doing offensively, which is just making threes, and Forbes hasn't been doing that recently. Let me see what Forbes is shooting from three with Denver.
It's pretty good,
he's
but
still
his
shooting
attempts
40.
have really fallen off.
Yeah. And he's just like Davon Reed knocks down the same amount of like open threes as Forbes does. I feel like, and obviously just the defense. Bryn Forbes is probably the worst like player I've ever seen defensively, like on the Nuggets. Like I don't even like. I think that's true. Like I don't think there's another
probably
that's bad.
like maybe like Isaiah Thomas when he was with us, but like he wasn't like
he
healthy.
Barely like played.
Yeah, and he wasn't like a real part of the team. But yeah, like I agree. Like it's bad with Bryn Forbes, and it's not like he doesn't try. He's just like not.
I know.
He's just not good. Like he's too small. It's not. He's not weak. Like he's strong. He has intensity. He tries. He gets down in a stance, but like, I mean, he's not just smart.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have awareness. He's small, so he gets shot over a lot.
I think like he tries to try, but it's like
he's trying like too much. He doesn't know how to try properly.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like he's also like I feel like there could be more effort that he can put into it. It's like he's trying to make it look like he's putting in a lot of effort, but really he's just kind of like running around. But you can run faster. He can get his hands up faster on shots and stuff. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I relate to that. Is just what I'm like. Like defensively, I like try to like make it look like I'm trying. I feel like that's what Bryn Forbes has been like doing defensively. And he's just like floppy and I don't know.
All right. Well, yeah, when I think I really liked how he was involved in the offense when he first got here. I mean, he was like a main part of the offense. He wasn't just shooting threes. He was getting into the lane. He was shooting floaters. He was shooting mid-range shots. He was shooting off the dribble. Oh, crap. My AirPods just fell. He was shooting off the dribble. He was shooting mid-ranges. Like, he was more of just a standstill guy who gets 1 to 2 shots a game. Like, he was getting like 9, 10 attempts, which is, I think, what worked with him. I mean, the bench looked really good when he was looking like that. He looked really good when it was like that. Sorry. But yeah, I think that if the bench works around that and they revolve like around him, then it works. But I don't know if that's possible. Right now.
Yeah, I remember that Utah game where he had like 25, 26 or something.
And even the Warriors game when Monte Morris at the game winner, he was huge in that game. He's had some big games for us. It just, wasn't. He just, I don't know. He wasn't in the cards for him here, which is unfortunate because I really like the way. I mean, he's a good shooter. Like even when he gets open shots, like he makes them. It just defensively, he is just too much of a liability.
Yeah, and I think it's just like tough for like this offense that they run where it's just like through Jokic and everything. Like I don't think the whole screen, like screening and everything to get Forbes open as he's running around. And all like that's just not the offense Denver runs.
A lot of that is like set plays, and Denver just does not run set plays.
And Denver just kind of they cut more to the basket rather than running out outside.
Oh yeah, 100%. You're spot on with that. Like it just unfortunate that it didn't fit, and I think it's unfortunate because you trade with the Spurs before the deadline, then at the deadline Derek White gets traded, and I think that was everybody, all the fans wanted Derek White at least. And we definitely wanted him.
Derek White would have been
a
great fit. Yeah.
So but that's it's tough. Sometimes you just miss on trades. I don't even think this was a miss. It was just like bad fit, I guess. Because Forbes is still a good player. It just didn't work out. But
I think that just explains how there's never been a guy like that in the Jokic era. A pure catch and shoot. Whatever 3-point shooter. There hasn't been one of those guys because I don't think it works with Jokic.
I didn't even think about that, but that's true.
Having like the big man have the ball rather than him setting
guards.
Yeah.
No, that's 100% correct. Like the only guy I can think about who's like a pure catch and shoot guy in the Jokic era is like MPJ his rookie year before the bubble. Like, I mean, he was pure catch and shoot, and like every once in a while he would create.
But he's
But
not really. I mean, he does come off the screens and stuff, but it's not like a Kyle Korver.
no, they don't run set plays for him. Everything
Yeah.
opens up to him.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it worked because he was also incredible in the paint. He was a good rebounder. He cut incredibly well. He played well with Jokic in that sense. And maybe Forbes can do that. We haven't really seen a lot of Jokic Forbes minutes, but yeah, that's just. I think you're right on that in terms of like shooters just don't work well with him. That sucks though, because I feel like in theory you would think that like a guy like Forbes would be perfect because
I know.
Take a lot of the pressure off. He gets wide open looks, but when a guy relies on off ball movement ability to get him the ball, it's kind of tough.
But really, the guys that work are guys like Davon Reed.
Yeah.
Like those are the types of shooters you need where they're like, well, first of all, they're like bigger, better on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main part. And then just like being able to just hit those open threes. Like a Dorian Finney-Smith works with Luka.
Yeah.
Reggie Bullock works with Luka. And I feel like those types of players would work the same with Jokic, as we've seen with Davon Reed. And like if Torrey Craig was a better shooter, that would have worked out perfectly too.
Yeah. I mean, in the playoffs, when he was that first season, that first run, 18-19, and he hit like 60% from three.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, he was a big part of that. And it was because he shot well. Like that's the reason why they put him in the starting lineup, is because he was shooting well, and that worked so well. Yeah, big game. I think Davon Reed deserves some. I mean, to me, I think it's bound to happen. I think they're just waiting until the regular season ends, just so whoever they cut can get their full salary, and then they can. Then they'll just cut them, and I don't know, maybe their salary will come off the books or whatever. But I think that's going to happen because you can't be like closing out big games like this with a two-way player and then not have a plan for him to be there later. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's true.
It just really does not make any sense. So that's just that's my thinking of it. But hopefully they have a plan for him. Because he's a big part of it, and especially if he's hitting threes. He was in a bit of a slump lately, but I think he got minutes today. The shots that he took were good. I like the way he attacked too. I mean, he got one of his shots blocked, but like he can work on ball too. Like he pump fakes, he drives. He's shot a lot of shots this season, like off the dribble, mid range. He has a
good mid range.
Yeah, he's a really good pull up game, which is something I just did not expect. So I really like. I think that he's got to have been there. No, real big bounce back game from Will. We have been waiting for a game like this for so long, and it finally happened. He had 6 of 8 from downtown. It's got to be his most, at least this season. I don't know if it's most in his career, but for sure a season high. Yeah, I mean, this was a game where, like, I mean, he wasn't really creating for others. It was literally just catch and shoot, and he was open, and he started making shots. It was just huge. I mean, he was big time in the second half. Denver needed a game like this from him so bad.
I know. It's crazy how just, like, shot making can, like, change it's like the opinion on like a player and stuff. Because like if he took all those shots but he went to like 1 for 8 or 2 for 8, it would be like, oh, Will had a horrible game.
Yeah.
If he played the exact same way but just released the ball differently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked that, he didn't do anything like stupid. Really. There was one play that really stuck out to me. This was, I think, after he hit his 6th 3-pointer, he had the chance to shoot one off a step back. Like he stepped back after a Jokic screen and he was open for the 3.
And then he passed it into Jokic. Yeah, I know exactly which player you're talking about.
Yeah.
No.
So I think that was a big moment for him.
Yeah. It seems like him and Jokic's chemistry was really good this game. They knew what was going on. I liked it. I really liked the way he played. When he's just trying to score, it works so well.
Yeah.
Like when he's a strictly scoring option, because the way, I mean, Monte was facilitating great. He had 10 assists. Jokic had 6. I mean, even though he had 7 turnovers, but most of those were in the first quarter. He had 6 assists. Like he was the playmaker primarily in the fourth quarter. Monte was playmaker for most of the game. Will Barton didn't have to do anything except get a bucket, and that's exactly what he's best at.
Yeah.
Sucks that we had to play him 37 minutes. Same with Gordon, but they were the two guys that we were staggering the most.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense. Speaking of Gordon, huge game. His jumper has been really working lately. Last 10 games, he's shooting 43% from three. He went 3 of 5 from three in the first game against the Lakers. Goes 3 of 5 again. 24 and 8. He was big. He was big time. This is like huge.
Mm-hmm.
This is so big for Denver. For him to have a game like this, 3 players with 25 plus, huge. 6 players in double figures, huge. It's exactly the help that you need. I know it's the Lakers and they are in hell right now, but still, like regardless, it's a big game.
Mm-hmm. It's like this Denver offense can just be so good if Gordon and Barton both step up. That's what just makes it tough. Like, because Murray and Porter are gonna be like mostly consistent with good games. These guys, really, Gordon, like you don't know what you're gonna get out of him. Same with Barton, every night. And when they step up and they play well, you put up 130 points against the Lakers, 140 points against the another 130 points against the Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Gordon plays poorly against the Pacers, and the offense wasn't too great. So it's just, it really does come down to them. If they can score.
Yeah. Because even right now, there's no number 2 in the offense. Like one day it's Will, one day it's Gordon, one day it's Bones, one day it's Monte. And like for some teams, that's a good thing. But for Denver, I don't think it's a good thing because there's a lot of times when everyone sucks. So like you can't rely on anybody but Jokic, and then everyone can just collapse on Jokic. But in games like this and in games like the Phoenix game and games like Minnesota where the offense was good and they're playing well, like that makes it so lethal for them to guard. Like Gordon has been pretty. This is his fourth 20-point game in his last 5, which is I did not know he had been playing that well until they mentioned it on the broadcast. 24 today, 24 against Minnesota, only 10 against Indiana, but 21 against Charlotte, 20 against OKC, 21 against Phoenix. He's been playing well. He's been playing really well. 3-point shot has been really streaky for most of the year.
Yeah, it's on
November. He shot 40%
streak right now.
Yeah, he's on a good streak right now. But like, in March, he only shot 24%.
Yeah,
on 3 attempts a game, which is really not good. But then, in February, he shot 36% on 3 attempts a game, which is pretty good. So if he can, start getting his 3-ball going in time for the playoffs, that's huge. Jokic needs to get his 3-ball going in time for the playoffs.
Oh my God, I know.
It is. It's really. I want to see. He's got to be shooting he's shooting 27% his last 10 games from 3. But he's shooting 63% from the field. It's just insane.
And he hasn't made one since March 24th.
Yeah.
Against the Suns. And he
made
one.
He hasn't been good. He made a deep 2 today.
Oh, I know.
I saw
it. They called it a 3, but I'm like, that's a 2. Because I saw it and I'm like, I think his foot's on the line.
Yeah.
But at least he made it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good to see that he made one. I think it's good for him that he made a long jumper. It's because his mid range is still working. Obviously, in the paint, he's been a beast. But he needs to get that 3-ball going in time for the playoffs.
And the free throws are making me mad. It's crazy that he's shooting 81%, but I feel like he's
missed a lot this year.
He misses too many free throws, man.
Yeah,
and he misses too many in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I seriously can't trust him at the line in clutch situations.
In clutch situations, I think he's fine. I don't know. Under a minute, he's fine.
Okay, under a minute, yeah. But
until then, he's been pretty iffy. I will give you that. He has definitely been iffy this season. But I don't know what's going on. He was 87% last year. He's been above 80 his whole season. This is lowest. But he was 81.7 19, 20. Last season, 87. And in 17, 18, the season he shot 40% from three. He was 85%. Season before that, 82%. So, like, I mean, he's had more seasons closer to 81, 82 than 85, like it was last year. But which is weird because I feel like he's always been closer to 85.
Yeah. But yeah, the mid range is still working. Especially like the mid range, like corner shot.
Yeah.
Working.
I don't know why he hasn't shot that more. I mean, he
I know
has not done it lately. Lately, he started to shoot it more.
Yeah.
But before, a couple of weeks ago, he had barely shot it. He'd been doing so much in the paint, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. But he's like still putting up crazy numbers no matter which way.
Yeah, I mean, he's shooting better his last 10 than he has. Like, he's shooting 63% his last 10 games.
Yeah.
And he's at 58% on the season, which is insane for a guy who shoots as much as he does. And he's the most efficient player in basketball, like by a mile. It's like, if the one thing we're complaining about is that, he's on a slump shooting the three.
I know.
We're going to be all right.
Yeah.
The turnovers are a problem. He's averaging 4 a game his last 10. He had 7 today. And it's so weird because they come off him trying to make the right play. But, like, some of them, it's just like, just shoot it. Like, you're open.
No, oh my God.
Like, he had another. They're gonna get a contest on it, but you make those shots in your sleep.
He had one of those today, but this one wasn't even covered or anything.
Yeah.
Like, he could have just taken the floater wide open, and then instead he tried to like squeeze a pass into Gordon, and it like tipped off at Gordon or something, went out of bounds.
Yeah. Another thing that I noticed in this game, like JaMychal Green, he was in foul trouble, the entire game. But when he went out, I thought Denver actually played better when Aaron Gordon was playing primarily the 4. And I think that's interesting to see because maybe they'll tinker with that going into the playoffs. But like Aaron Gordon, when he was at the 4, he was playing really, really well. And Denver's offense was playing really, really well. JaMychal Green in 12 minutes was a -14, and everybody else was a plus in the plus minus. So. And that's not a knock on JaMychal Green. I just think it's when Aaron Gordon plays the 4 and he plays his natural position, I think the team works much better because it allows other players to play their natural positions too. Like, I don't know. I think it, especially with the bench unit, like Aaron Gordon was playing the 4 and instead of the 3, and it allowed Davon Reed to play the 3 instead of the 4, which he had been playing lately, and the bench offense and the bench offense especially was so much better than it has been lately. So
right.
Yeah, I think that was noticeable to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, he's been great.
Yeah,
good win. You needed this win for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's desperation for both teams, more so for the Lakers. Missing LeBron. We haven't even talked about LeBron. I don't know, like, if they would have won this game with LeBron. Because
Westbrook would not have played as good.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Westbrook wouldn't have played as well. Melo wouldn't have played as well. So I don't think they win this game with LeBron anyways, because they played like well as a team.
Yeah, I think they
scored.
Did, yeah.
They scored 100. What did they score? 118.
118. Yeah, they shot 53% from the field.
Yeah, I don't know if LeBron is gonna.
Yeah.
Whatever. Get you.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that like. I think a lot of the struggles of the Lakers season has been LeBron and Westbrook literally not meshing at all. And it's because their play styles are just too similar. Like when players like when Chris Paul and James Harden, were on the Rockets together, a lot of people thought that they would clash because both are on-ball players, but both of them were able to adapt to play off ball and let the other like have the spotlight. But both of them were also good enough shooters to where it worked for one of them to play off ball. Westbrook is not a good enough shooter to play off ball, and LeBron is too good on the ball to take him off the ball.
Right.
So it just did from the jump of the season, it just did not work, and there was no way it was going to work unless Westbrook started shooting very well from 3-point range, which, I mean, that's just not who he is. Like without LeBron, Westbrook has played really, really well this season. because he's able to have the ball in his hands. He's able to do whatever. I mean, 11 of 15, 27 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, only 2 turnovers for him. Like, he legitimately played very, very well this game. It was the Westbrook that we've been used to seeing like the past 5 years.
Right. He's able to push the ball up. He was just so lethal in transition. Like, rebound and then sprinting to the other end. You can't really do that with LeBron because you got to defer the ball to LeBron because LeBron wants the ball.
And that's not, I don't think that's like a knock on LeBron. It's just like just the way that they play.
Yeah.
Which is, unfortunate for the Lakers. But yeah, I mean, I think it shows that Westbrook's not going to be on the team next season. I don't know why they messed with the formula last year. I don't know why they thought that they needed to do something. Because when they were healthy, because I remember specifically when their season changed last year. It was against the Nuggets. It was a game on Valentine's Day last year. They were fully healthy. They were rolling. They'd won like 7 in a row up to that point. And then Anthony Davis goes down and gets hurt. And then he's out for like a month. And they're still playing well even without him. They lose a couple, obviously. But then LeBron gets injured. So they're without LeBron and Anthony Davis for a long period of time. Like, combined, when both of them are out, they were legit out for like 2 months of the entire year. And like, there's no way that team without them, because they're built around their 2 stars, there's no way they were going to be able to do anything. So honestly, I thought they could have run it back with that last team. And, maybe Anthony Davis still gets injured, but I think with that team, the roster they had last year, I think they would have been much better than they are right now, because they just shot all of their depth for Russell Westbrook. I mean, you're giving up 3
and all their
quality players.
They're shooting too.
Yeah.
You get rid of KCP as shooter. Kuzma could make threes.
You don't re-sign Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
A shooter.
Montrezl Harrell, not a shooter, but he was on the team.
Yeah. He won 6th Man of the Year the year before you signed him.
Yeah.
He's not a bad player at all. So like, I really just did not understand why they thought they needed to make this drastic of a move. I don't know if it was LeBron who wanted it, or LeBron and AD or whatever, or the front office just thought they had to make a move. But like, that team, when they were healthy, they were good. Like, they were legitimately good. And people forget they were up 2-1 against the Suns, and they were up 10 in game 4 until Anthony Davis goes down and gets injured, and then they lose, 3 straight.
I think that's the problem with just LeBron right now. Like the team's just what was I gonna say? I literally just lost my train of thought. The team's it's like desperation mode kind of with the teams with LeBron's age. They're like, every single year we need to put the best possible team around him. And if it didn't work last year,
you got to just like gut it out.
You got to do something else because you have a limited amount of time. And you never know with LeBron. Like, maybe he could go up with his son or somewhere or whatever. I don't know. I mean, you really like I think, was it Brian Windhorst who said like LeBron's career has kind of gone in like 4-year like increments. It's like he had like 4 years in Cleveland and stuff, and then goes to Miami. You get 4 years in Miami. I know it's like a little longer, and then he goes back to Cleveland. There's 4 years there, and then LA is 4 years. It's like every time you have like this 4-year window of LeBron before something happens, and then he just, the team just erupts or whatever. So I think just like, the Lakers are just, Rob Pelinka's put under a lot of pressure to try to make this team as best as it can before LeBron falls off or leaves or whatever. So yeah, I think that's what's tough is just with them. Like, you can't, like, the Nuggets can still rely on these like young guys, and they developed Michael Porter. They developed Jamal. You can't do any developing with any young players right now with LeBron as your main guy. So then you just try to trade him away and hope something works. You just put together a team of, stars and just hope it works.
Yeah. They're working in like 1 year windows.
Yeah. Especially with LA, it's 1 year windows. I guess with Miami and with Cleveland, it was kind of 4-year windows.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But because he had he in Miami and in Cleveland the second time, he had a reliable second and third guy to help him out. Anthony Davis, when he's healthy, 100% he's reliable. I think he's a top 5 player or top 10 player in the NBA when he's healthy. But he is just not. Last 2 seasons, he has been healthy one bit, and you can't rely on a guy like that consistently, it's tough for that. I mean, but like today. Before he got hurt, he was having a great game. And even when he was hurt, until the fourth quarter, he was playing great.
Yeah.
I thought defensively, you could really see his impact, especially in help defense. He had 3 blocks a day. One of them was on Jokic, which was like very impressive. Another one was on Davon Reed, which I did not know how he could even get there. But you could see his talent out there. It's just he's injured so much. Which is the problem. So I don't know. I think you're right. Like LA, like you do have to put everything into 1 year, and if it doesn't work, you got to just scrap it and do it again. Because you're right. Like LeBron, even how well he's played this year, like you do not know when he's going to start to decline. So you have to put everything into that. Yeah, it's tough. This is a tough season for the Lakers. It's really tough season. Like they had the form, like even like a lot of people like the bubble Lakers, and they've fallen off since the bubble, but like that team in the bubble was very good. I mean, they had the formula. They had really long, rangy, good defenders. They had Caruso, they had KCP, they had Kuzma, they had solid vets like KCP, and they also had Rondo, who was really good for them in the playoffs. Like they Markieff Morris gave him good minutes in the playoffs. Like they were a good team. Like that was legitimately a good team, especially pre-bubble. I mean, they were really starting to peak right before the season shut down. But like they had the formula.
Yeah, they did.
They could have been much more successful with that, but I think they just made a little too drastic of a move, which is unfortunate. But
I guess not really, but
yeah, it's unfortunate for them, but not unfortunate for everyone else.
Yeah. What else was I gonna say? I just found it funny how Luka has this good game, and then all of a sudden it's why is Luka not in MVP conversation? Jokic has this.
I saw before both of those games, they did like an MVP thing, and like it was like Michael Wilbon, Jalen Smith, Greeny, or not Jalen, but Jalen Rose and Stephen A. Smith, and like 3 of them picked Giannis, and then Greeny picked.
No, Stephen A. picked Booker.
Stephen A. picked Booker. Oh my god, I was like, what do you like?
But like,
really, like a couple games, good games from Giannis, and like,
I know,
albeit they were incredible games, but Jokic was putting up. He was going toe for toe with him.
I know. That's why hasn't this stretch been talked about? 35. 12-8, March 26, 26, 19, 11, 37, 13, 9, 38, 19 and 8, 38, 18 and 6. And it's like, this is like a slump for Jokic.
Yeah.
Like this is the best he's like played in his, like, I just don't know. Why is Giannis getting all this hype after by the way, that 3-pointer he made against the Nets, if Seth Curry just catches the ball, which Giannis threw right at him and it went right through Seth Curry's hands. I mean, that's the game, and people would know Giannis for choking because he literally missed 2 free throws right before that.
Yep.
So he missed 2 free throws. That's a turnover 99% of the time, but he gets it. He makes a clutch 3, credit to him. But, if Seth Curry had caught the ball and the Nets got it and they win the game, you're talking about a Giannis choke. And instead, it's Giannis MVP. And now he has this game against the Mavericks, which – by the way, I forgot he was on the court in the fourth quarter, basically. I mean, he didn't even touch the ball. He did not shoot the ball. It was all Drew and it was all Chris. And I don't see anything about, that. But Jokic has 38, 18, and 6. And, Luka's MVP because Jokic had 5 turnovers in the first quarter. It's okay.
Like I do think Luka needs more love in the MVP race.
I do too. Yeah,
because he has been exceptional. Like I know he started the season off slow, but really since like December, I mean he has been.
Yeah, I mean he's probably incredible. 3. He's probably 3 behind Giannis and Jokic.
I would have him at 4. I think Embiid is still pretty firmly there because he's still having a ridiculous season. But I honestly would have like I think it's Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, Luka, and then I don't know. There's like 7 people who could be 5, honestly. But I think that should be your top 4 because Luka is having a great season. But like, there's no way that you can look at his roster versus Denver's and be like, yeah, he's doing more with less. Like, no, there's no way. It really sucks that on national TV, that is the days that the roster decides to play their best. Like the games nobody can watch, everybody on Denver has like the worst game of the year. But then the games that everyone watches, they're all like, you know what? We're going to play great today. Yeah. It's like not, and then everyone thinks that they're good. And they are good. Like they're good players, but they're not on the level of Giannis's help. Right. Like the Nuggets do not have anybody right now, at least playing active, who's on the level of Chris Middleton or Drew Holiday or Bobby Portis, probably. Like they have, like there are a lot more talented teams out there than Denver. But
yeah. I'm looking at this like whatever these like last 10 for Luka, and it is crazy. It's like 32, 8, 15, 36, 7 and 6, 35, 9 and 13, 34, 12 and 12, 32. You know, and then he had a bad game against the Wolves, but
yeah,
his stretch has been amazing. But like Jokic's stretch is like better.
Yeah, so and the other thing is, Luka also averages like a full turnover more per game,
and he doesn't shoot the ball well.
He doesn't shoot the ball better.
I mean, his true shooting percentage, like, and his on-off rating, the Mavs are literally. You know, it's a negative on-off rating.
Yeah, his true shooting percentage this season, 56.9, and Jokic is at something it was like 67 or something ridiculous like that. Jokic is at 62.2, which is ridiculous. So yeah, like he is like Jokic is more efficient. He's a better playmaker. He's a better defender, better rebounder. Obviously, I think he's a better scorer. Like when he tries, he's a better scorer. Luka is just more like cool because he shoots jumpers instead of hook shots. But yeah, like I there was like a narrative that even last year after Jokic won the MVP that Luka was better than Jokic. And I'm like, how? How do you?
I know.
Like I don't understand how you can watch basketball and think that. It just doesn't make any sense.
Luka's just I'm still trying to figure out Luka because like dude, he has the ball like 20 seconds on every possession, like 20 out of the 24. He's dribbling the ball. And yeah, like he gets like open shooters and stuff. Somehow he like finds them late in the clock, which is insane. But like, I don't know. He doesn't shoot it well at all. Really, like his 3-point has never been, you know, trustworthy to make. He does make the clutch once. His free throw shooting has been awful his entire career.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know.
I mean, even today,
he just has the ball it just looks like like not good offense when he has the ball 20 out of 24 seconds. But he does find those shooters, which is, you know, good thing they have shooters.
Yeah, they've built the roster like perfectly around him.
Yeah,
like essentially, especially after the Porzingis trade, you get 2 guys who can work off the ball with him. Like they have built it very well. But like, even this game, you're talking about, you know, efficiencies, 9 for 22.
I know that's,
and the only reason he's able to get 32 points is because he shoots 14 free throws. So, like he's at 74% this season from the free throw line, which is like Aaron Gordon levels. He's at 35%, which is higher than Jokic, but he also he is extremely streaky with it. So I don't know. Luka is 100% a number 1 option, but for them to win a championship, there has to be a number 2.
Yeah, I definitely think Luka is like a championship player.
Yeah.
But you know, he's just not as good as Jokic is.
Yeah. But I think that for you to win a championship with Luka, you have to have a number 2 alongside him. And they thought it was Porzingis, but I am assuming they're going to go make a move in this offseason, regardless of what happens in the playoffs, because there's no way that they can look at this roster and be like, yeah, this is going to win us a chip, because it's just not. It's deep, but it's not talented enough.
Right.
There's just not like a big enough number 2.
Dude, and oh my God, I saw this like tweet. You know the hardwood
Yeah.
paroxysm guy,
Yeah.
right? He was like saying, um, let me see. It was like, yeah, I need to find this tweet because it's just so like some of these tweets he makes are just like kind of outlandish claims that he just
Yeah.
makes, and like he just says it like he's right, like he's gonna be. Okay, he said, I thought Denver had a pretty big advantage versus the Mavs early in the season, but with how bad Denver's become, first of all, it's like, okay, like they've played well,
Yeah.
and how good the Mavs have become. I think that's probably a 4-1 series Mavs win. Like, okay, really?
I don't know about that.
A 5-game series?
No.
He just says that so like confidently,
Yeah.
like he's
I think
okay.
I don't know how you can say with how bad Denver's become. Like,
Dude,
maybe
no, there's a worse tweet that he had. Literally, like it was a horrible tweet. Fighting, okay, here it is. Fighting recency bias is good, but late season stuff matters too. And while Jokic's numbers have been great, the team has been horrible the last month or so. And I think that needs to matter for MVP. They're 17-7 in the last 24 games. Talking about horrible the past month. This has been the best month of this season, and he's saying that they're horrible. Like I don't understand.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. When you think about like defensively, if you're talking about that, sure. But like the team has not been horrible. Like especially like the bench has been playing as good as it has the entire year the last month. The starting lineup has got, I mean, Aaron Gordon has started to pick it up really for the past like 2-3 weeks. He's been really, really good. Obviously, Jokic, but Monte Morris has been incredible really since, post All-Star break. He's shooting 51% from three his last 10 games. He's up to 40% from three on the season. Like, I don't know how you can say that they've been horrible.
Yeah,
I really don't know how.
I mean, like the last 10 games, Milwaukee's 6-4. Well, I guess they just lost, so I don't know, it still could be 6-4, but whatever. Before these games is Milwaukee 6-4, Philly 6-4, and Denver 6-4. And it's like they've been horrible, so Jokic does not get the MVP. Like I don't know this guy.
I think if anything, it means Jokic should get the MVP more.
I know
he's been horrible, and they're 17-7.
Yeah,
and Jokic's stat line has been incredible. Who do you attribute that to? Like,
yeah, I don't
no
know.
one else you can say that it's hit like it's Jokic.
Yeah, he's kind of weird. I mean, he thinks like Ja is better than Luka, which is kind of weird too.
I mean, he's a Grizzlies fan, so he's got to have some bias.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, but he writes for the Nuggets, but he's a Grizzlies fan. He's also a Chiefs fan, which makes a lot of sense.
Nice.
I
guess I just realized his profile picture is like the grizzly bear.
Yeah.
I never even.
He writes for the Nuggets and he has a podcast for the Nuggets, but he is a Grizzlies fan, which is weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's fine. What else has happened in the NBA? Yesterday was a big day in the NBA. There was a lot of stuff that happened yesterday. Let me try and figure this out. Jazz Warriors. I want to talk about this. So Utah, they had a 20-point lead going into the third or going into the fourth. Well, they didn't have a 20-point lead they had a 6-point lead going into the fourth, but they were up double digits for most of the first half and most of the third quarter. And they go up 103-87 with 7 minutes to go. And then Utah ends on what is this? Hold on. How do you do math? I'm not good at math.
But,
sorry.
Are you doing like 111 minus 87?
Yeah. 111 minus 87. They go on a 24-4 run to close out the game. And after the game, like Donovan Mitchell looked like he was about to break down and cry. They had
it's so funny because he always does that.
Yeah. The Warriors had 6 straight threes to close out the game. They had an 18-0 run. Yeah. And it was just like, wow. Like that, I was like, this is their second straight loss that they've had where they've given up a big lead like this. They were up 25 against the Clippers on Tuesday. And then they beat the Lakers on Thursday. But then you give up a 21-point lead. Look at ooh, excuse me, against a Warriors team that is missing its best player. Like, I don't know how you
Yeah.
come
And I
back from
mean,
that.
their best player is like the entire offense.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah. Like, I like Donovan Mitchell a lot. Um, like, I like that playoff, the bubble, whatever, gave me so much more respect for him. And I really do like
And
Donovan
even
Mitchell.
even
It's like,
last year in the playoffs, he was really good.
yeah, yeah, I know. And he's super clutch. It'll probably be clutch in the playoffs again. But it's like right now when he's, like in all the post game interviews and everything, he's always like pissed off saying, "Oh, we got to stop doing this." Like he's like liking tweets that's like hating on him and everything like
Yeah.
that. It's like he's trying to really like boost this fire or whatever that like the team is just pissed off and he's pissed off.
Yeah.
But then they keep doing it. And it's like
They don't change anything. Yeah.
at some point, it's got to kind of come back to you because
Mm-hmm. And
like
one of
you're the
the
leader of the team.
yeah.
I don't think Rudy Gobert is a leader,
No.
or the leader. I mean Donovan's the leader of the team, and he missed a wide open Gobert under the rim,
Multiple
in
times.
this game. Yeah,
Multiple times.
only finished with 3 assists, and it's just like at some point, Donovan, you
He
gotta
has to start taking
win.
responsibility for
Yeah,
what's
I
going on.
know that's the thing. Both him and Gobert always say in the interviews is like, you know, I wanted to win so bad, but I can't speak for the rest of the team. That's always what they say. They're always blaming it on other people. And I like, what are they talking about? Bogdanovich? Are they talking about like Royce O'Neal or Mike Conley? Like, I don't know. It just seems so divided, and they're always brushing it off to, it's not my fault. It's the other guy's fault.
Mm-hmm.
When you're the two stars, it's ultimately your fault, I think.
Yeah. And I saw some stats this morning about Mitchell and Gobert. Mitchell averages 2 passes to Gobert a game. 2 passes.
No
Not
way.
assists, 2 passes to Gobert per game.
How
And
is
it's
that
like,
even possible?
he's your big man. He's your primary pick and roll player, and you are the best player.
Mhm.
That combination, you and the second best player on the team, has to be the best play and the best action that you have, right?
Yeah.
Look at every other team that has a big two, has like 2 of their top players. They work well together and they can mesh well together.
Mhm.
Look at Jokic and Murray. You look at AD and LeBron, Kawhi and PG, Drew Holiday and Giannis, and Chris Middleton and Giannis. Like all those guys work well together and they play well together. Gobert and Mitchell do not work well together at all. And I mean, Donovan Mitchell is a good playmaker, but he's not a point guard. He's not a guy who's going to pass to Gobert anyway. But like, I mean, you have to look. I mean, Gobert had like 3 or 4 possessions in the fourth quarter last night where he was completely sealed off with a good passing angle right underneath the rim.
Yeah.
He had a guard on him. He was right underneath the rim. And Donovan Mitchell just completely looks him off and takes a step back contested
Mhm.
3. Like this happened like 3 or 4 times in the fourth. And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? It was just so weird to see. It's so weird to see that.
Yeah, it is because
I like if they go out in the first round again, or if they don't make a push to like the conference finals, even I would put it that far. Like if you do not advance past the second round, you got to blow it up. Like you have to, because this it clearly isn't working. You need some sort of change. Yeah, like this is it's bad. It is really bad right now.
dude, that's a crazy stat. 2 passes a
Yeah.
game to
It's
Gobert.
0.5 assists a game to Rudy Gobert,
What?
which is
And
like
it's not like, I know Gobert is not like the best at like, touch and everything, but it's not like he's horrible at that.
no. If he has a guard
I mean,
on him, he's
yeah.
7'2". Just give him the ball. He's just gonna dunk. Like it's not that hard.
And he's a great like lob threat too. Like,
yeah, he's a really good finisher around the rim. Like he can
Yeah.
do that because I mean that's all that he does. So like, give him more opportunities to do that. Like, never thought I'd be defending Rudy Gobert, but like, I don't really like him, but I mean, you got to give him some opportunity to make plays on the offensive end. And I think the biggest problem Gobert has with Mitchell is that Donovan Mitchell, I mean, he's one of the most athletic players in the NBA. And he's the dunk contest champion. He is incredibly fast. He's strong, but he plays absolutely no defense. I mean, he does not play defense whatsoever, and it's ridiculous because like the Jazz, their biggest problem, it's not Gobert not being able to close out big games or whatever. It is the fact that they have one good perimeter defender, and that's Royce O'Neal.
Yeah.
They have nobody else on that team who can guard anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like Daniel House, sure, but like Hassan Whiteside, no. Jordan Clarkson, no. Eric Pascal, no. Rudy Gay, no. Nico Alexander-Walker, no. Bogdanovich, no. Conley, no. Not at this point in his career anyway. And Mitchell, no. So they have one guy who can guard the paint, or one guy who can guard the perimeter, and then all of it gets blamed on Gobert for some reason. And it's like that is a huge issue. So they cannot win a championship with this caliber of defense. Like it's just not going to happen, and they have to blow it up and either build around Mitchell or build around Gobert, because there's no way that this team can win, especially with the amount of rifts that are happening in the locker room right now. Like it's just not going to happen.
Right.
It's really bad.
Yeah, they definitely need like another wing or something that can, defend better, obviously, and can like score too.
I feel like they have enough scorers.
Well, yeah. I guess I mean more like, I don't know what I mean, because like Bogdanovich can get his own bucket.
Yeah, like you look at like Conley. I mean, he can still score at this point in his career. I think Bogdanovich, obviously, he can score. Jordan Clarkson might be the best scorer off the bench in the NBA. Like you have enough on-ball guys. You need more 3-and-D dudes. Like that's just all they need. Like if you just replace, I don't even know who you would replace. Like Eric Pascal. You replace Eric Pascal with a guy who could replace Eric Pascal with Gary Harris. Say that happens. Like I feel like that would make them a much better team because at least you have somebody else defensively.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing this stat right now. Like Mitchell with 151 passes to Gobert, and Trey with 152 assists to Capella. So like Trey and Capella, and like, I mean, here it is, right? Rudy Gobert is a better finisher than Clint Capella.
Yeah.
They're both like similar players, but Gobert's just better at everything. But they play the same way, so like that should mean that. Oh man, yeah, that Mitchell should get on the ball. It's just, it's weird because I really like Donovan Mitchell.
I do too. I think he's an incredible player, but like, he's got to become better at playmaking, but just to your second best player. Like that's like
I think his like the passes where he like, kicks it out to the corner or whatever. Like those passes are insane. Some of the passes he makes like that, but definitely like. The inside oh my god, yeah. I just remember that play on the Warriors with Gobert literally under the rim with I think it was Jordan Poole, I don't know, it was a guard on him, and Mitchell has it and it's a wide open pass,
very easy pass
that like 10-year-olds would make like in their sleep, and like he's not doing it.
It's not like his ability to not make it, it's him consciously being like
because he definitely looked at him. I know he looked at him. And he's just like, I don't know if it's Donovan just not having confidence on Gobert to finish, or if it's really like some beef. And I don't know.
No, it's bad. But I wanted to touch on that because that is just really not a good look for either of them right now. On the Warriors side of things, Klay Thompson had his season high, and if he's in tune for the playoffs, that's horrifying. He had 36 on 14 of 28, 8 of 17 from 3.
Man,
which is like
he jacks up a ton of shots. That's
and that is like prime Klay Thompson, like him catching and shooting and like running off ball and getting insane looks and just having the ball in his hand for half a second and pulling, and that's what was going on in this game. So. I don't know. That's going to be tough. Jordan Poole is going to be a problem in the postseason when Steph comes back because he's just going to feast on bench lineups, which is what I am terrified about if Denver does indeed play Golden State in a series. So, it's going to be tough to beat this Warriors team because it looks like, I mean, they've started to win without Steph lately. Like maybe not win, like win, but they have started to like stay afloat. without him at least. You know,
Yeah.
they competed with the Warriors. They competed with the Hawks. They beat the Heat. Like they have had games where they win.
Yeah, I think it's just such a huge adjustment when
Yeah.
Curry goes out. That you need you need games to get adjusted to that. And now
There's
they
a
are.
lot of games on today.
Yeah. Dude, this is like Klay Thompson's shooting the most shots he's ever taken in his career per 36.
Dang.
He's shooting the worst percentage by a lot. He's taken the most threes in his career by over 2 a game per 36. It's weird. Like he's jacking up these shots, dude. He's not making a lot of them.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
I think he's trying to like force himself into a
Yeah.
rhythm, I think. Which is I don't know. I don't think that's the right formula.
Yeah, I know,
how it
because he
happened.
takes some like bad shots too, I think.
He does.
Some
Yeah.
of these like mid-range ones where he's just like on the move and
Yeah, he's like on the
and
move
he's
off
right
like
in
off 1 foot.
yeah, and then
And he's, like,
defenders in his
fading.
face
Yeah.
and he's trying to like relax. Yeah.
No, I 100% agree. He does need to think about what he does more.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess we'll talk about other stuff going on in the NBA, some of the playoff implications, and then I think that might be it. Only what? When does MLB start? Wednesday? Thursday?
Thursday.
It's coming up. 4
Yeah.
days. 76ers
Exciting.
Cavs. This is actually a pretty big game.
Yeah, what is it? Oh, it's halftime. Okay.
Yeah.
And Spurs down 15-3.
Who?
The Spurs.
They're down 15?
But the game just started. They're
Oh
down.
my God.
They're losing 15-3 to the Blazers.
Okay. Well, they gotta pick it up.
It's early though. It doesn't even.
They're
feels like.
starting their B team.
Oh, what the?
That's why. The Spurs are starting their B team. They're probably just gonna go all try hard against us. That's why. But like, I don't know. You should take this free win. I mean, it's the freaking Blazers.
Yeah, that's weird. That is weird. I feel it's so early though. First quarters, I feel like don't even like matter in the NBA.
Oh yeah.
To be honest, because
they really don't.
Teams just come back from whenever.
Yeah. Like a 20-point lead is like nothing now.
I know.
You got to get it to like 30, 35 for it to actually be like a true blowout.
Yeah.
Like how many times has Denver like surrendered a 20? They surrendered a 31-point lead against Indiana the other day.
I know.
And they lost a 25-point lead to the Clippers. The Clippers have come back from 35, I think, earlier this season. Like it's so easy to come back because of just how good offenses are. Celtics finally had a good defensive showing today without Robert Williams. It's their first win without him. But unfortunately, it was against the Wizards, so not sure if it counts.
Well, I mean, they did win by 42. So.
Yeah, they did. They dominated them. I mean, completely. They scored 35 plus in every single quarter, which is ridiculous.
Who did I see? Was it the Clippers last night or something? I'm like, oh my God, they scored. Or was it 153?
Yeah.
Against the Bucks.
Robert Covington with 43, 11 threes.
But they almost hit 40 in every quarter.
Yeah. That's insane. Derek White finally had a good shooting game for Boston. Jaylen Brown is incredible. I can't believe there was ever a time when they thought that they should trade him because, I mean, this is, once again, going back to kind of the Utah thing. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they play incredibly well together now after having their struggles early in the season because, they sucked it up and then learned how to play together instead of just blaming the other for the issues that were going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a big win for Boston. Let me look at the standings real quick. Toronto actually has leapfrogged Chicago for the 5 seed.
Oh wow. Is Chicago in any?
They're not in play-in. They're 2.5 up on the play-in. Oh no, they're only 2 up on the play-in. So I guess a little bit of danger. That'd be funny if they dropped the play-in. Because I honestly think they would lose. Because Atlanta also won last night, so they have 8 seed. And Brooklyn is now the 10, with Charlotte at the 9. So if Cleveland wins today against Philly, that's a big win. There's still a chance for Toronto to get the 4 seed. They're 2 games back of Philly. So yeah, Boston is now the 2. Miami's still up at 1. It looks like they're going to stay there. Milwaukee the 3. Eastern Conference is going to be really, really fun to watch how everything goes.
Whoa, wait! I just realized this. The Nets don't even. I did not realize they're like the 10 seed now. I keep thinking they're like the 8.
No, they were the 8
So
yesterday, and then they lost to
Yeah.
Atlanta. So that now Atlanta and Charlotte both have the tiebreak over them.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
They're gonna have to win like 2 games.
Yeah, KD had 55 yesterday, which is his career high somehow.
And lost. Yeah.
Yeah, and they lost. Kyrie had 31, but did it on 12 of 32 shooting. And also, yeah.
Dude, man, I think they need there's just too many scores. I mean,
they need Ben Simmons. Like they actually need Ben Simmons.
I know. Yeah.
Like if they don't have Ben Simmons,
like it's literally just all KD and Kyrie.
They don't even need Ben Simmons for the scoring. They need him defensively. Like Trae Young was legitimately doing whatever he wanted. I mean, whatever he wanted. It was insane.
Trae was amazing.
Trae is so good. Like
I know, dude.
He might get left off an All NBA team because
which is just so
he was
stupid.
bad, but that would be an absolute travesty if that happens. He is too good to be left off All NBA. I mean, he is incredible, like legitimately incredible.
I don't know if you want to do like All NBA, kind of predictions like soon.
We can. I think we can do it after like the play-in because there's a few. There's like a week in between the play-in and the actual playoffs. So
okay, yeah.
I'm down to do like an episode.
But I think Trae should be.
He has to. He's been playing. What is he averaging? He's averaging like 30 and 10.
Yeah, I'm trying to debate like if it's like first or second team for him. I would put him on second, I think.
I would probably put him on second, but like
I would have Steph first.
I would probably put Steph. I would have like Steph and Luka. I'm not gonna adhere to the stupid ass rules that the NBA has for all NBA teams. Like, if there's not a center worthy of a spot, I'm not gonna put a center there. Like I'm gonna put Joel Embiid on first team because he's a first teamer, and instead of putting, I don't know.
I think I'm gonna actually try to like do it so it's like I don't know. It feels weird having like Trae and Ja on one team, like 2 point guards. I mean, like
you're gonna try
they deserve it. I'm gonna try to like I guess maybe do like a lineup of like actual like position. I don't know.
I'm not gonna. I can't.
I mean, yeah, I know.
It's so dumb. I can't. It's ridiculously stupid. Like it's just like the fact that.
I mean, they shouldn't even be position locks.
It should be positionless. Like, it should just be the 5 best players.
Yeah.
On first team, and then the next best 5, and the next best 5. But Trae on the season, 28.3 points, 9.6 assists. He's shooting 46% from the field, 38% from 3, 90% from the line. And you can't say that the Hawks are a bad team because they're the 8th seed, but they're also 4 games over 500 now. They're on a 5-game win streak, 6-game win streak. 5-game win streak. Trae has been at the center of it all. I mean, he is. Oh my God, they went on an absolute horrid stretch, January and February, and then they won like 7 in a row. But they the Hawks have been good lately, legitimately. Plus injuries because John Collins has been out for the last couple of weeks and he might be out for the rest of the year. So like. Jay's been doing this relatively all on his own.
Yeah.
He needs to be on an All NBA team. If he gets left off, that's going to be horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Horrible if that happens. What else happened in the NBA? Not a lot of big games today. Yeah, the Spurs are only down 2 now. Yeah, first quarters really don't matter. If the Suns win today, they will get their franchise record in wins. But they are indeed starting. I'm not really their B team. They have Chris Paul in there and Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, but they're resting Ayton and Booker. They are playing the Thunder, who are playing like a D3 college squad right now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with them. But they win. They get their franchise record and wins. No games tomorrow, like at all.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it's kind of weird. Actually, I know why, because it's national championship game.
Yeah.
No one's gonna be watching NBA anyway.
I'm hype about that, baby.
Well, dude, I was watching.
Duke.
I'm like, Caleb Love, man, that dude is good.
He's just so like he literally has no like conscience or anything. Like,
he is good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like watching him the entire year. Well, okay, this tournament has been like the best stretch of his career.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he literally has no conscience where it's like he just keeps but that's what I like love about him too, is because he just keeps pulling up and pulling up. Like I remember in the game against UCLA, he bricked a 3. Baycott got the offensive rebound, gives it back to Love, and then Love immediately just takes a step back 3. Like right after he just like bricked a 3, he takes another one and he makes it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just so like clutch with that. Like Duke went up 7 or 8 maybe in the second half, and then he immediately came back with a step back 3 and made it. Yeah, when he's on, like he's really good, but he does turn it over a lot. He takes some stupid shots a lot. Just one of those.
Reminds me, he looks like Cam Thomas. Like an electric scorer, but he can be very stupid sometimes. Brady Manick is also hilarious to me. Like he looks so weird out there, but he is such a good shooter.
I know. Dude, anytime he pulls it up, I think it's going in.
Yeah, I'm so confident.
He's like he needs zero space too. He just catches and shoots.
It is insane.
Yeah, he's been so good this tournament.
Yeah, it's crazy that he played with Trae Young.
I know.
Oklahoma.
Right? Yeah.
And now he's playing 5 years later.
Yeah.
College is weird, man. But he's averaged double figures his entire college career. This is
he's been
best
good.
Season, but like he's been a good college player. Did not expect that.
But yeah, Caleb Love, he's shooting 37% like from the field on the year. So yeah, I mean he's like, but when he's on, yeah, there's definitely some injury because he's athletic, he's big, he's strong. He can clearly shoot it because he's shot like 85% from the free throw line.
He's a really good free throw shooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got good form. But yeah, I think
there's some potential there.
Yeah, for sure. On the Kansas side of things, I honestly don't know how they made it here.
They've been, it's a pretty lucky run, but
it's
like
very easy. Like I would probably pick UNC over them right now.
I would too, actually.
One, because UNC is just so hot, but also it's just like, I'm not really confident in any of Kansas' big players. So like, plays, I guess.
Yeah, and it's just like UNC just, beating Baylor, and really they beat them handedly until they just collapsed.
Yeah, until they collapsed. Yeah.
But they beat Duke, who I feel like Duke, could be the best team in the nation. I mean, the run that Carolina's been on has just been much more impressive, and they do look like the better team. Yeah. Kansas did play well yesterday, but Villanova also, of course, missing their point guard more, and but they did look good. Finally, the Ogbaji guy stepped up in the
he's probably Big 10, Big 12 player of the year, but like he in tournament
he was but they have a good team. Like McCormick's good, Christian Brown is good.
Christian Brown's hilarious. He talks so much trash.
I know.
It's funny because they're probably going to lose him in the draft, and then they get Grady Dick next year, who's literally just a carbon copy of Christian Brown.
Is he actually? I don't even know who that is.
He's like one of the top recruits next year, but he's literally just an athletic white guy who talks trash.
Yeah,
it's the same.
It is kind of weird, just like not like he's not like a shooter really, and it's just weird. He's like an athletic, good defending white guy. Which
it's a complete opposite.
Different. I know. I know. Like I remember watching him the first time playing for Kansas. I'm like, don't let this guy shoot. Like he's really not a shooter.
Yeah.
I mean, he
He,
can make them.
he's
But
shooting 39%, but that's not like his best attribute.
yeah, right.
He's put like 4 or 5 guys on posters this year, which is
I know.
hilarious.
Yeah, he's good. They got Remy Martin from ASU, and then but I think Carolina wins, which is just like awesome as a Carolina fan. But I mean, when our starting five just RJ Davis is just so solid. They moved so basically like what the switch was having RJ play point guard rather than Caleb Love because Love just turned the ball over way too much. And that has really got the offense going. It allows Caleb Love to just strictly be a scorer, which he's great at. But yeah, when the team's playing great, RJ Davis, because like he's good at shooting and passing and all that. Caleb Love can do everything scoring. Brady Manick, of course, makes like every single three. Baycott is so good inside, and then Leaky Black is just a great glue guy too.
Yeah.
And
Leaky Black as a defender is insane.
Yeah, he's so good on defense. And when he makes like 2 threes, like because that's all you can ask out of him. Carolina is really hard to beat because he made 2 against Duke. Last game. Really, when he makes 1 3, it's like a miracle.
The North Carolina is good. Also, like Baycott grabs every rebound.
I know.
And like I know Kansas does have a big. Like David McCormick is there, but I think Baycott is going to dominate that matchup.
I hope so. Yeah, he's been getting like 20 rebounds in every single game.
His last 2 games he has 20 plus, which is ridiculous. A 2020 game, which in college never happens.
Yeah.
He had 10 against Marquette in the second round. Then against Baylor, he had 16. Again, Marquette in the first round, he had 10. Then 16 against Baylor in the second. 15 against UCLA in the Elite Eight. Then 22 against St. Peter's in the Elite Eight, and then 21 in the Final Four. He's been huge.
Yeah.
If he can stay out of foul trouble, I find it hard to think that they're going to lose.
Yeah, that's really the thing. That's what I thought was going to really hold because I know like the starting five is stacked, but there's absolutely like no depth on the team.
College in general, like like Caleb Love played the entire game. Leaky Black played the entire game.
And they've played the entire game in the ACC tournament. They've been playing the entire game in all these games, which is insane. But yeah, I'm just saying like, because with only having 5 fouls in college, like those add up so quickly.
Yeah, they do.
Like if you can get 2 fouls in the first minute of the game and you're just literally out for like the entire half.
Yeah. That's so dumb. I think that college, like I think some of the rules in college basketball are good, but I think most of the college basketball rules need to change to like NBA rules. Like one of them that I remember having like a pretty big effect on the tournament last year was it was like there was some team was having trouble getting the ball up like in the backcourt, and then they called a timeout, and then the backcourt timer reset. So you have another 10 seconds in the backcourt. And I'm like, first off, why is it 10 seconds? Why is it not 8 seconds like it is in the NBA? Like, why are the fouls 5 and not 6? I don't know. It's weird.
I think, 5 fouls is like, it feels so little, but
it is.
It is a shorter game than the NBA by 8 minutes.
True.
True. So that's why, because it's just weird. Like I feel like 5 is too little because you get 2 fouls and you're all of a sudden in foul trouble. But like 6 is too many because it's only a 40-minute game. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I don't know. I wish you could do like 5.5, but
yeah. But it's college basketball is fun to watch. My biggest issue with college basketball. That game
was so good.
The Duke UNC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was back and forth the entire time. It's just my only problem with college. Like my biggest issue with college basketball is that there's too many media timeouts.
Oh, I know, dude.
It should every single time.
It should be 5 minutes instead of 4. I want it to be like 6 minutes, but like they do it every 4 minutes, and it's just ridiculous. Like
I feel like that's the other thing. Like even like Caleb Love and Leaky Black, they play the entire game, but I mean they get a rest every 5 minutes, so like they're they're refreshed every single time they're there.
Mhm.
And when the game slows down the final, 2-3 minutes, there's no timeouts, but you just had a timeout literally 2 minutes before that anyway. Like, you should be rested. So, and you
Yeah.
have your own timeouts. Like, it's just
Yeah, I know.
there's a lot of stoppage.
There's a ton of stoppage. I do love the bonus though, how it's a 1-1.
1-1. I like the 1-1 rule. Yeah.
Like a 1-1, the 1-1 rule in the NBA, I think would be a good addition.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it does reward, like not fouling as much.
Yeah, but it makes you have to be good at free throws too.
Yeah, I love it, and it makes the end of the game more fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was such a good game. Like Caleb Love going back and forth with.
Yeah,
I think Paulo made a clutch 3. Wendell Moore made a clutch 3. Manic.
Wendell Moore's a guy that Nuggets fans should watch.
Dude, it's crazy. Wendell Moore is a junior, and he's literally younger than I am.
What?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Is he still 19?
No, he's 20, but I'm like a month like older than he is.
That's crazy.
But he's been there for a while. I'm like, I looked it up. I'm like, no way. Like he's he's younger than Caleb Love. Like, I don't get it, but he's good. He's been so good this year for them.
Yeah,
his passing is good. He's finally knocked down his threes.
Yeah. He's a good defender too.
He's a good player.
Yeah. That's why, I think, hopefully, Tim Conley, if you're watching, please draft a wing, not an undersized guard for the 10th year in a row. But yeah, he's a guy that Nuggets fans should keep an eye on for that. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else? I think that might be all.
Not really. Yeah, I think that is all.
Tyrese Halliburton had 19 points and 17 assists with 0 turnovers.
No way. Damn. Was that today?
Yeah, and they lost to the Pistons.
Damn.
Of all teams. Well, Saddiq Bey is so good. I'm very jealous of Pistons fans because they have Saddiq Bey. That's it. That's it for me.
Yep.
Tuesday, big game. Hopefully Jamal will come back. That very anticipating something like that. I don't know if it'll happen, but we'll see. Looks like they're okay with bringing him back in the playoffs, but a lot of fluid stuff going on. But yeah, unless you got anything else, I think that's.
I don't. No.
All right. Thank you all for watching. We will be here Tuesday